back onto your daily educative and infotainment program, newspaper review. We are going to inform you about what happens from the length and breadth of this country and abroad. And we are fortunate, as usual, to have my guest, a person who is an erudite scholar and an academic person, somebody who knows many things that happens, and the way he dichotomizes the events you are going to enjoy. Last week, he was with us all the way from Lagos, at the center of excellence, and he did the job as he usually do it. Before we have him, let us look at some of the peoples that we have today. And as we usually say that today is not going to be different. We are going to take you through all the facets of human endeavor, talking about politics, education, economy, security, science, arts, even sport and foreign. I can tell you that you are going to enjoy it. Let us have the hint, that is the high point from the few of the national dailies today. Let us take it from Punch newspaper, saying military vows crackdown on security threats. Once IPOB, others. Likewise from the Nation newspaper, we have governors-elect at war over funds, projects. Likewise, Nigeria imports 300 billion naira palm oil in 6 years. Palm oil, very funny. Likewise, we have a subsidy that is from Business Day. Business Day says subsidies stranded crude rob Nigeria of gains in OPEC. Leadership says opposition parties brace for tough fight with APC. Likewise, this day has something like this. Yahya saying that army will contain all threat to nation's sovereignty. That's a good promise to the world. Then the Guardian says, Afenifere, one essay array while you to reject interim government plot. Likewise, Blueprint says, caution optimism, fears trade plan fuel subsidy removal. Then from Daily Asset saying, government kills scores in attacks on Kogi communities. Then New Telegraph says Nigeria's oil shipment stranded as European buyers shun product. Then we have gunshot, that is from the Nigerian Tribune. Gunshot in Port Harcourt as APC, PDP supporters clash. Oh, very, very interesting today. And as we usually tell you that we always have the coin, and like the coin, we have the positive and the negative to make it balance. But I trust, I promise you that what you are going to have today, majority of them are going to be positive, and the other one is going to be to charge you to brace up. I want to say, yes, I want to now introduce my guest. All the way from Lagos.
Thank you very much.
Prince of Peace, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That was Lagos, that is center of excellence.
We're fantastic. So
the base of our president to be, that is the new president.
Absolutely, and the socio-economic capital of the Southwest.
Yes.
Everything was fine.
Yeah, welcome. Hey, okay, let us start the job from the Punch newspaper for today, saying that military vows crack down on security threat. Once IPOB, others.
Yeah, I think it's not really late, for the military to come out and say enough is enough, because these people are threatening our democracy, and then we know how many people fall, for this democracy. There are so many of us too, although we are not really in the open, that suffered from the effect of Nadeco. And those people never even participated in any way. And the people today who wants to be this, who want to be that. So for me, for the military to now come out and say, listen, you better, check yourselves. Otherwise, you're going to face the wrath of the law. I think it's good. It's really, really good.
When you look at it, because some people, they believe that the what we can describe as a fallacious rumor, that some people are clamoring for the torch of the last election, that is presidential, whereby they are now clamoring that we should not have interim. Yes. Can we describe such people as part of the threat to society?
It is not just part of the threat, I'm sorry to say. It is nothing but treason. You know, because it's like torpedoing a democratically elected, government. You know, I don't. It's not good that the way we are practicing democracy in Nigeria right now. I think it's okay. If not, and to be in the past, then I could have ended up in one prison or another. What did Awolowo and his junior colleagues, do before they were sent to prison? They've not gone to 10% of these guys are doing right now. You know, they were just kind of rounded up for nothing. That's what Paulo said. If he had done nothing, he will not meet those people who plotted that for him. So I think these guys are really going beyond their bounds. And then, so for me, I think what they're doing is treasonable. It's not just that this and that. It's treasonable. That is, somebody has been elected, by the majority of our people. And through a democratic process, and it's time now to swim in, so the other guy now can go home, and the other saying it's not going to happen. It's treason, it's insurrection. You know, right now, former President Donald Trump, as I'm talking right now, is in court. Yes, because he came to New York yesterday from Florida, and he's staying now in his Trump Tower in downtown Manhattan. And then to face the law, to face the law, is the immediate past president of America.
See justice.
So what are we talking about? Yeah, right now he's not lining up, defense counsels, to protect him from going to jail. So, and I wonder this kind of guys just going up and down, demonstrating everywhere, protesting and talking rubbish. And they are left off the hooks. I think it's high time they are picked up one by one.
Even that is why some people are now urging the DSS to uphold those who are behind.
The DSS,
so that they can charge them with treason.
Absolutely, because it's a treasonable kind of offense, and then the DSS is like FBI. Yes, in
America.
In America, you see, they don't swing to action like the way people will want them to. They don't act on social media. No, they try as much as they can to go to the roots of the whole matter and get that intelligence. So once they get intelligence information, then they strike like thunder. So this is it. But again, in our own system, it should not be too late. But by the time it's getting late, people will now start to insinuate it's because some people who are untouchables are involved, this and that and that. That's just that. So for me, they need to pick them one by one. Look at the one that was on the flight, in Abuja, trying to molest the people, trying to cause confusion. That is homegrown terrorism. It's nothing short of that. It's homegrown terrorism. The guy is a terrorist.
Okay, let us take this one. It's very, very related. That is from this day. This day newspaper today says, that is one of the army boss. Army will contain all threats to nation's sovereignty.
Absolutely. This is what we're saying.
Can we say that the soldier, the army are now trying to put up more strength to show to the president-elect?
Yes, sir. This is the time the army has to come out. The army is not necessary, during elections, because elections are civil process. The armies are supposed to be in the balance. But when the sovereignty of a nation is threatened, either internally or externally, then the armed forces come out in full force. Then I say, listen, when we sign in the oath, we say we're going to put our lives on the line to defend nothing but the sovereignty of our country. And their loyalty, first and foremost, goes to the Constitution, then to the Commander-in-Chief. So that's that. And right now, that sovereignty, that entity called Nigeria, is being threatened. So they need to come out. And they need to come out smoking. And if you get to Lagos right now, they're sending in, a kind of hardware that we've never seen before. And what we're saying, this is a terror. They are brand new hardwares. That whoever things he can mess around, he knows already, it's already in hell.
Because some people believe that when it comes to politics, we see Nigerian government spending millions or billions of naira on it. But the lives of the common men, look at what happened recently in Samvara, whereby two female students of the university were carted away by the hoodlums, because we are yet to know why can't they defend the common man? the way they are defending democracy or the people in the arms of the affairs.
Yeah, you know, the issue is this. We are not facing things squarely in Nigeria. And that's why we are making mistakes. Nigeria is too big for one individual in Abuja to be able to know what happens everywhere. You know, I started my career in the north, you know, New Nigerian Development Corporation, you know, gave me scholarship, this and that. And so I was able to work in so many of their outfits in the north. You realize that sometimes I can go over 100 kilometers without seeing a town. Yeah, it's as well as that. So if that is the case, what we need to do is to have true federalism, which means what? Means that every state must have its own police command. Every local council must have its own police command. So once we have this, and these people also, who they're going to recruit in the counties, in local government areas, they'll be the indigenous of those areas.
Who knows the nooks and crannies of the place.
Exactly.
Look at what happened in Daily Assets today. Daily Assets says, government kills scores in attacks on Kogi communities, another killing.
It's so sad. That's what we're saying. You know, and then I pity the governor, you know, he's a cerebral person, and they're doing the best they can, the youngest of them. You know, he said he's going to catch them, but how can he catch them? You know, he doesn't have the powers. He's the chief security officer of his state, you know, by mouth. But the real issues, you know, in Abuja. If the IGP does not tell the police people to do anything, they won't do anything. And the IGP also is overstretched. You know, we're talking of a country of 36 states, you know, and then with the landmass that is more than France and Holland and Belgium and even Britain put together. So you see, we're talking of a large political entity. So for me, government coming right now is that, listen, we have voted for you, and what we want is that we want every state, every local government to have its own police command. Although some people are saying, look at what's happening right now, we've not got that, and yet people are being slaughtered. Thugs are being used, you know, to weaponize our elections. So if now have our own state police, won't they be used? I think we're going to get to that level when they will not be used.
Even we are still talking in the realm of security. The Nigerian Tribune says gunshots in Port Harcourt as APC PDP supporters clash.
Yeah, we saw everything yesterday, you know, on one of the channels, you know, and the interview the governorship candidate of APC and the spokesman for the PDP, and they were trading, you know, accusations left, right, and center. I think it's sad that we play politics in Nigeria is still barbaric. You know, I don't know why these people said they went to INEC, you know, to get all those materials that we need to, you know, file their petitions. And the time frame for the petition will expire on Friday. And today is Tuesday, and they've not got anything whatsoever. And so they went over there, and then the next thing we saw, you know, gunshots left, right, and center. You know, I think the politics in Nigeria is too barbaric. And I think that's why the new government coming into play should work very hard on NOA, Nigeria, what they call it right now, Orientation Agency. You know, where they will now go back to the basis, where they will not try to work on Sahika mentality and the rest of them like that. But they have to let us understand that we have only one life to live.
Even including the proliferation of ammunition,
this and that and that. You know, it's because National Orientation Agency is no longer there. That's why people do not really know that their lives matter. You know, if those guys are still there and they're going from place to place and they're talking like during the time of Jerry Ghana, you know, everybody will know that why should I die for one politician? You know, some people call themselves now obedient, he left, right, and center, and they'll be now, you know, he's enjoying his own life. He doesn't know these guys, and those people now, they're clamoring for, they're falling up and down. By the time they get to the mansions, government mansions, they will not know them anymore. That's the truth. They won't know them. We won't see them. So
let us move a bit into politics. The nation today says governors elect at war over funds, projects.
Well, you know, there's so much in a hurry. And that's the saddest part of it all. You know, you see, nobody can rush anybody out of power. And at the end of the day, when these governors leave office, the immunity is gone. So if they mess around when they were there, then they can be called to order. So for somebody who is not yet being sworn in, to now be giving instructions to branches this and that, to me, they don't still know how to play politics. You know, they didn't go in there to serve the people. You know, and their God is a God that answers prayer. Like one of them said when he was going for the presidential election, he said he has prayed to God, and he's praying to God. If he's not going to serve Nigeria, God will not allow him to win, and he doesn't win. So I don't know why people should be worried.
Okay, today is Tuesday. Nigerian governors are going to meet with the CPBN and some other stakeholders to go and discuss about their take-up, that is their security vote. Then, what advice can you give to them as they are going to meet this day today?
Well, you know, many people have conversed, you know, advocated, should they cancel the security votes? Of what use are they? You know, that they are just ways of siphoning funds. Because, you know, why? They are not auditable. Yeah, they just get the money and they spend the money and cannot audit the money. But again, when we see what the enormous loads of these governors' heads, when we pity them. You know, I remember before now, you know, that anytime somebody, you know, went to the governor's office, you see scores of people. What have they come for? They come for handouts. It's the truth. You know, you sit in their midst, they'll be listening to some of them saying, all they want to see just to enter and see the Mr. Governor. You know, and then when they go in and see Mr. Governor, they will get, you know, envelopes. Where will Mr. Governor get it? No, you know, these are the issues. So this one, the money
that you are in support of the continuation.
Yeah, absolutely. Of that, because I know what my
the money that has no account.
Why not? Because the method of
no auditing.
Our people are beggarly. You know, unless you want the governors to start stealing. This is the truth about it. The people are beggarly. You know it yourself. In your position, to people will still knock your door. This is even sometimes when we are, you know, at home, it's like, okay, listen, security man, don't open my gate because.
But I think their salary is heavy enough.
Which where is it heavy enough? No, the salary
and some allowances should be enough.
There's some allowances.
Why can't we use the votes for another thing or projects?
You know, the more your salary is, the more our salary is, you know, the more responsibility.
Okay, let us move on to economy. Daily Trust says Nigeria imports 300 billion naira palm oil in 6 years. Okay. Palm oil, for God's sake.
For God's sake. And I think it's a good news. You know why? We're getting a new government. So the new government now will now know which areas of priorities. You know what I'm saying? You know, you'll be able to know right now, okay, these are things that my people really need. So I have to focus on that. You know, and I think also the new government is coming up with a fantastic policy of regionalization, whereby regions will autonomous to a large extent, whereby, you know, states will be federating, you know, whereby they can be able to control their resources and this and that and develop in their own way. You know, before, when we were growing, you know, when we were growing in our youth, you know, in our primary school, you know, we had that then the Southwest has embassies abroad. We have our own ambassadors. We had then that, you know, education was free. I went to school for free education. You know, we had also then that Cocoa House was the tallest in Africa. You know, and all those things. The Liberty Stadium was the first, and our money was so heavy, and the rest of them. They said that Dubai came over to borrow money from the Southwest. So I think the new government will do that. So all these things coming on now, all these reportages left, right, and center are challenging the new government. That it's not going to be business as usual.
Thank you. From Business Day, we have something related to that. Business Day says subsidies stranded crude rob Nigeria of gains in OPEC.
Well, subsidy, you know, it's unfortunate again that the way we use subsidy in Nigeria is very scammy, you know, but there's nowhere in the world that they don't subsidize. America subsidizes agriculture. They make sure that the farmers are well taken care of. They make sure that they keep on planting and producing and harvesting and keeping them in silos, you know, whereby they use them for international politics sometimes, you know, whereby they say that there's drought in this country, they send food there free of charge, and whereby in America, the cheapest stuff anybody can get is food. Yeah, so, you know, but that's where subsidy is better used. But in Nigeria, we cannot be able to quantify, you know, how much is this subsidy? How does it, you know, where does it go? And how good it is. And that is the bane of our problem. So the new regime will now sit back, and I am so happy. These guys are not coming from the moon. These guys are here. So they see what's going on. And for the first time in the history of this country, you know, I may be challenged. We're having a guy that is fully prepared for the job. Tafawa Balewa was just a school teacher when he was big. Shagari was equally a school teacher. You know, Yaradua was going home to rest. Jonathan never thought that he would ever be anything.
But everybody claimed to be ready.
But Obasanjo was brought from prison. You know, but Buhari in the first time also, you know, was a soldier. Gowon was a soldier. All of them. But for the first time, we're not having a guy,
a politician
to the core who is tested, you know, internationally exposed. Is into business, is into administration.
Even like other people too.
The other people, no.
Everybody has an area of specialization
the area of
to benefit from the benefits.
No, what they have,
a soldier taking care of security.
Soldier is supposed to be in the barracks.
And knows how to take care of the security.
No, soldiers are not.
Okay, let us move on to Blueprint. Blueprint this morning says, cautious optimism fears trail blamed. Planned fuel subsidy removal. Fuel subsidy again.
Yes, you know, subsidy removal. You know, the government said it will remove it by June, allegedly, right? But again, the incoming government can still cancel that. You get what I'm saying? You know, because they're going to come up with their own policies. They can't just come up with policies that will make Nigeria to start crying. You know, we've cried enough. You know, the agony is enough. And everybody now, you know, is looking forward to a circle. You know, that, okay, you know, it's like a civilian coup. That where these people are coming right now, everything's going to be new. You know, the cabinet is going to be new. All these guys now, minister of this, minister of that, they're going to go back home. Essay this to essay to essay. They're going to become history. And so things are going to change. So if this regime is okay, we're removing subsidy, that is not final. The new one might say, listen, we're not going to remove subsidy yet. You know, and by the way, we're going to even reduce the pump price. And then the outgoing regime is saying allegedly that Dangote will be buying crude the same way the international people are coming over to buy. The new one might say, no, it's not going to be so. And even if it is so too, Dangote is not going to use badges to come and pick a crude oil, you know, all this shit that, you know, they're not going to use that. It's going to be, you know, transportation by pipes. That's going to make it much more cheaper, you know. And so, you know, at the end of the day, something or no subsidy, by the time Dangote come out, and then forget also, the outgoing regime also said, what we've been crying and shouting for, that we need to have modular refineries. I said it before, that where one of the producing states in the US, the state of Texas, has so many big refineries, but the modular ones are in thousands. And now they are saying states cannot have them. So if states are having them, why not counties? Look at
what individuals
can have them. You know, people are generating, you know, fuel even from waste. Yeah, petrol from waste, diesel from waste, and the rest of them like that. Somebody is doing that in Lagos right now. So I don't know why I cannot go around the state.
Let's look at this pandemic from Daily Sun. Daily Sun newspaper says 447 suspected cholera cases reported in Kano, Zamfara, Ebonyi, 3 other states.
Well, it's a warning now, and it has to do with you know, hygiene. You know, because sanitary-wise, by nature, Nigerians are very dirty. You know, you go out sometimes, see where people are eating, you see, you just not far away from them there, you see, you know, dump hills, you know, and then you see everywhere is stinking, and then people will sit down there and be eating. So these are things that cause the cholera. At night time, they say they are, you know, unwinding, they sit under trees, and they're taking pepper soup under trees, and the bones are there, and the bones will be patching. So these are the issues. So
I want to appreciate you very much. That is my girls, Prince of Peace, Prince God bless you, very good. The executive producer of the program is Akinola Owolabi, and the producer is Olalere. Thank you very much. I'm Adebisi Abidjan. We are going to meet again next week. Bye for now.
nítorí tí Ọlọ́run fi aráyé tó bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́. èyí gan ni ẹsẹ̀ bíbélì tó fìdí ìgbàgbọ́ ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi múlẹ̀. látàrí èyí iléeṣẹ́ OSBC ń kí gbogbo àjọ ọmọlẹ́yìn Kristi kan àwọn ilé ìjọsìn ẹlẹ́gbẹ́jẹgbẹ́ lájọ àti olóríjorí kó àmójúbà àwọn ẹlẹ́ẹ̀tì àti ọdún àjíǹde lọ́ba bẹ́ẹ̀ ni iléeṣẹ́ OSBC ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́